Hello, welcome. Hope you're having an amazing day. Today, I want to show you how to do conditional forms and also how you can apply the same concept on a custom form. Now, what's the main difference is on a form from Wix using the app, you're going to be limited on how many fields you get, and in a custom form you can add way more fields. You eventually have a limit, but I believe it's a lot more. I think it's like 50-60 fields, something like that, because I have created some forms that have a lot of fields, and you can use that on the free version. Now when it comes with using the Wix forms, it's very limited. I believe it's like 10 or something like that. So I'm gonna show you one, how we're gonna use conditions, and then two, how to create the custom form using also some type of conditions in case you need to add multiple fields. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is you're gonna turn on the developer mode, and if you already did this part, just skip, but if not, turn it on, and then you're gonna see this tool right here. You can minimize this. For now, we can just turn it off. Once you do that, you will still be able to access this option right here, which is input, and you can have access to a lot more elements in the platform. So for now, we're just gonna go to use the contact form, but again, this is gonna be a little bit more limited because you're only gonna have a few more fields that you can use. But if you want to add more, then it's gonna ask you to upgrade. So let's start with this. As soon as you add it, you're gonna notice you have a few settings on the top, right? So we have form settings, add new field, elements, the layout, design. So all these things are to customize this specific form. Now, first I'm gonna delete what I don't need, right? Because we're gonna do conditions, and then on this one we're gonna delete, and then once I click on this one, I'm gonna change it to something very specific, which is gonna be full name. And then you can request it to be required or not. And then we're gonna, once we start doing conditions, we can actually be able to manage this. So once we do this, I'm gonna duplicate this if I wanna reuse the same type, or I can just add a new field. And right here you can select a few. So we're gonna use phone, and then on the phone we're gonna set it up here. So what we're gonna do here is the phone, we're gonna have it as just like that, phone right there, and then the field right here, you can leave it as phone, or you can also add it as like phone number. And you also have the title. As you can see here at the top, it has a little title. If you don't want to use this, you are welcome to just leave it like that, even though it's gonna give you this warning, but it shouldn't affect your form. You can still use it, and that's not gonna be a problem. You can also make it required, and then once we do that, we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna add another field, and then we're gonna use something like an address. So we're gonna find address here, and okay, here it is, address. And then we're gonna add a second address because I want to use this form, let's say for a payment system or something like that, right? So I'm gonna have the regular address, and then we can again duplicate this, or you can just add a new field and then just click address. Okay, so this one is gonna be the regular address, and this one we're gonna edit the field and we're gonna name it billing address. And that's it. And again, you don't have to make this require. Then we're gonna add another option, and then right here we can add another field, and this is gonna be a drop down. So we're gonna go to drop down under basic fields, and then you added this option, And then right here, we're gonna move this a little lower. And then right here, we can do a few options, right? So we can just do something like yes and no. And then right here, we're gonna do edit field, and we're gonna type, are you paying cash? Cash. And then what we can do is something like this. Again, your form could be anything. This is just to show you what you can do. But let's say we have this, are you paying cash? And then they have the option which is yes or no. If they select no, then it's gonna show these two options. And then we're gonna add one more option, add a new field, and then we can do something like short answer. And then this one, we're gonna rename it card number. And then right here, we're just gonna delete that. And then we're gonna close that. And then under settings, right, we can also add the rules right here, but I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do it a little bit different. And then we can go right here. And again, you can also make it require, you can set limit of characters, things like that. So we're gonna have it like that. And again, you can have as many as you need to, but then you're gonna have to upgrade. So let's hit the limit actually to make sure we get exactly the amount that we need, so you know exactly how many you will need in order for you to have to upgrade. Okay, so you can see here I have 3 left. So we're gonna do short answer, and this is gonna be expiration day. We can do expiration date. Now actually let's select this one as a date instead. We're gonna do a new field and we're gonna do date. We're gonna do date, and then we're gonna make sure it goes right here, right? Because we're trying to make some type of payment. Then we can do expiration date like that. And then in the calendar, we also want to click in here and show past dates. So we have that there, and we need one more, which is gonna be for short answer field, which is gonna be the billing address, no, the security code. And then now this is something that I've seen some non-profits use, like this type of method where they ask for a debit or credit card. I wouldn't do it this way personally. I will use actually something like Stripe or PayPal to create a form for payment, just because it keeps the liability away from you. But again, for this example, we're just using that because I want to show you what conditions you can do, but for your form could be something completely different. So now we have everything here. As you can see, if I try another field, I only have one left. So it's not once I add that field, it's not gonna let me do anything else. So we can actually add a terms of service, and that way they can agree to the terms of service. But if I try to add another field, it's gonna be like this message: to keep adding fields, you need to upgrade. So as you can see, it doesn't have that many options. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you get 10 on the free version for a custom form. So once we do that, also it's gonna give you a limit on the conditions that you create. So once we have our form ready, we're gonna go to form settings, and then we're gonna go to conditions. So we're gonna add rules, okay? So the first rule that we wanna add is the phone number rule. So as you can see, anytime you click on the first one, it's gonna select the item that you're gonna work with. So we're gonna do phone number. So this field, phone number, is field, right? So if somebody types a phone number, then we want the email to be optional right here. So as you can see right now, I have it as required, but if somebody types a phone number, it's gonna be optional. So we're gonna save the rule, and then we're gonna do another one. The second one is gonna be choose an option. If it's fill with the option yes, then we want all these fields to be hidden, right? So card number, expiration day, security, and then billing address and address to be all hidden. So we're gonna go here and hidden, and then save rule. As you can see, you got one rule left. Now we're gonna do one more. If the choose option is fill with no, then I want the billing address to show, right? Actually, we're gonna do it a little bit different here. No, yeah, we have to do it because we just select that one. So we're gonna do billing address to show is shown. Okay, save rule. Okay, again, in the conditions it only gives me 3 options, but now we're gonna see our form so you can see how it's gonna work. Let me see why here. I think one wasn't saved. Let me see. Okay, so we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna type test. Then as you can see right now, this is required, right? But if I type a phone number, it automatically made it an optional. So it's not required for me to add an email. So that's a condition I use. Again, yours could be different. Here, the other option is, are you paying cash? If I select yes, it removes the other options and I can click agree and submit. Now, if I click no, then it's showing all those options. But again, you can completely do it as you like. The conditions are really good to show different things. We can also change this a little bit. So on the form settings, we're gonna go to conditions, and then this one right here, we can actually edit. So the first one, actually let's change the first one, the conditions right here. So if phone is filled, so we're gonna delete this one, and we're gonna actually use a different one. Is disabled because it conflicts with role number 1. Okay, you see. So this one, we're gonna go back. So if this option is selected with yes, these are gonna be hidden. Okay, now this other condition we're gonna edit. So we're gonna select where do you go? We're gonna select address. So address field then address 2, which is this one, billing address. So if the first address is filled, then the second address is gonna be hidden. Okay, now the way I will have it is the question is address same as billing address. If they select yes, then you can have it like that. But because we have a limitation on this, we're actually gonna remove this one and we're gonna add that question right here. So we're gonna add another field, and then we're gonna do a basic field here, drop down actually. There you go. So this one, we're gonna move it right here, and we're gonna do edit field. Is address same as billing address, something like that. Then manage choices, we can just delete this, and then this is gonna be yes, and then this is gonna be no. Okay, so we have another condition that we can use here. So we're gonna go to conditions, then we're gonna add a new rule, which is this one right here. So we're gonna change it. For this one, is address same as billing address if it's filled with the option yes, right? Then we want the second address hidden. There you go. So now you're gonna see what's gonna happen. So first we change this rule because we were using this one. All right, so this is gonna be testing. This one is not gonna affect anything now because we remove this rule. And then this one we can do something like that. And then right here, are you paying cash? No. So everything stays the same. So you can add a number, selected expiration date, and then security code. Right, now here is the condition that we put. Is address same as billing address? If the answer is yes, it hide the other one. But if the answer is no, it's showing the second option. So that way you can have the address and the billing address. So I hope this kind of helps you make your life easier when it comes down to collecting data or displaying specific data in your forms. Now this is using the Wix app. I'm gonna show you another way on how you can do the same thing where you're not gonna have the limitations on the form. You can have as many fields as you need to, but it's gonna work a little bit different because here, because it's a custom form, we're gonna use a little bit of code to show items based on selection using Velo. And this is a type of form that you don't have a limitation on how many fields you're gonna be adding. The first thing you wanna do is go to this option right here, which is Content Manager. If you don't see it, it's most likely because your developer mode is off, so you have to turn it on. On mine, it shows off right now because I already turned it on once, and when you do it, you don't have to do it again. You can, if I turn it off or on, it won't affect anything. So once we go here, we're gonna go to collections. We're gonna create a collection, get started, and then this could be something like clients form. And you can name it anything. This is automatically populated, and then just create. And then from here, we're just gonna make sure, if you see this option called sandbox, make sure you turn it off. So we can go to, we're gonna close this. We're gonna go up here, and then we're gonna go to advanced settings. Mostly on the newer websites, because this is an old template, is still showing sandbox, but on the newer pages, you might not even have this option. But if this is your case, just turn it off. The reason is we're not going to be using sandbox. We want everything to be automatically added, so we don't have to be moving the sandbox into the live. So again, just ignore this step if you don't have sandbox turned on. So we added the collection, which is client's form. I'm gonna click on it, and then you're gonna have your normal fields, which is gonna be name, right? So we're gonna do text, and this is gonna be name, and then save. You can also do text, and this is gonna be last name. If you wanna do phone number, I wouldn't recommend using number, just because sometimes people like to add the little dash, and that way you won't have an issue that they just type a phone number, a number with the dash. So instead, I'll just leave it as text, and then you can still use it as a phone number. And then save. And again, you can add as many fields as you need here. If you're adding some type of content like a description, things like that, you can use also text, which won't allow to change the different size of text, none of that stuff. But if you go to rich text, you're going to be able to upload like bullet points, numbers, change the font, things like that. So on this one, we're just going to leave it as text, and we're going to name it description, and then save. And lastly, we're gonna add an image. So we're gonna do image, and then this is gonna be image profile, for example, right? And then save. So you're gonna get this message that until the website gets published, then you're gonna be able to make this live. So we're just gonna close that right there. We're gonna go up here on the little box. Cross, or whatever the symbol is. I'm gonna go to box right here, and we're gonna add just a container box. And then the design, you're welcome to do anything. We're just gonna use this one, and then we're gonna change it to white. So it's white. Oh, I'm gonna change it to white. We're gonna put some shadow around, and then blur it a little bit. There you go. So it looks a little more elegant. Then we're gonna go to add, gonna go under input, and then we're gonna add this option right here. So we're gonna attach it to the box, and then the settings. As you can see, you'll have a few more options. You can still use the title if you want. So you can do something like this, and it will have it at the top. But if you don't want to, you can leave it empty, and this little error that's showing, it won't affect your form. So here we can just do first name, and then we can add another option. You just drag it, and this can be phone number, so you can just leave it like that. We're gonna use this one, phone number, and then we're gonna add one more, which is gonna be the image. So input, and we're gonna have the upload button. So once we select this, it's gonna be right there, settings, and this is gonna be profile picture, or picture profile, and then that's it. And then we're gonna add a button. On this button, this is gonna be named submit, and that's it. So now what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna make conditions for this. So we're gonna add one more, and we're gonna go here and add another option on input, and then right there. And this can be something like a description, and then right here Again, make sure you center everything so it doesn't look funny. And getting close there. Okay, so once you have this, you're gonna open this part right here on the bottom, which is Velo, and then you're gonna select your first item right here, right? So you can change the ID. Right now the ID name is input1, but we can change it to first name. And this is case sensitive, so make sure that anything you do, capitals or lowercase, it is case sensitive. So anytime you add any type of code, this is very important. If you have one of these letters wrong, or is lowercase or capital case, it might not work. So this is a very simple thing we're gonna do. So what I want to do is, if they add a phone number, I want the description to be to show, but if they don't add a phone number, then it's not gonna be showing. So we're gonna go here on the description, and we're gonna change this to description, and then we're gonna select collapse. So once you click on the side, as you can see, it's hidden. So what we're gonna go here is on phone number. We're gonna type phone number, and what we want is, if they type a phone number, we want the description to show on the form. So we're gonna use one of the options, which is on key press. Okay, so if somebody types anything on the phone number, this option will show. Once you add that, gonna add event, and it's gonna look something like this. So we can delete that. That's on gray. It's just instructions. And then right here, this part, we're just gonna delete it, and then we're gonna add this code right here. And then what we want to do is, in here we want to add the name of this input, right? So it's gonna be hashtag, and then the name is description. Okay, and then once we add it, we want to make sure we add that expand, and actually that expand, and then double. Actually here we have to delete that, and then we're gonna add the symbol. Wait, okay, that's how we need to add it. I'm missing one item here. Okay, yeah, so the hashtag, and then you want to add the two other, let me actually make this bigger so you can hopefully see it like that, right? So you have the phone number, key press, and then the ID of this item for the description, which is this one. And do 100, and now we can test this out. So we can click preview. Nothing is connected yet, but I want you to I want to show you that you can possibly do some type of conditional form. So here, let's say you type test. If I type anything on this, then it will show me the description. As you can see, now it shows the description. So that's how you're able to do a condition on a custom form. It's very easy. We can do another condition, which is this one right here. So once I click on this item specifically, right? If I click on change, and then I can add it, right? So that means if on change means that if they add a picture, then I want to make sure that it shows another option right here. So we can add another field. I'm gonna go to input, and then I'm gonna add this right here. let's say the item we want it to be, if they add a picture, we want to show something like name of picture. Okay, again, your form can be different. This is just an example that we're using. So name of picture, so right here, and then we can just do name of picture, and then we're gonna have this as collapse right there, and then we're gonna delete this right here in the middle, and we're gonna add this code right here, hashtag name of picture. I forgot something here, 1 second. Okay, so is this one right here, then name of picture space, then expand, like that. So now let's take a look. So if we see here our form, right, first name is gonna be test. Now the phone number, we're gonna have it as, let's say 00, because I added something in here. Now it's showing me the description, so I can type description here, right? And we're still missing one field. If they don't upload a picture, then the form is still gonna work, but right now we can just add profile picture, and we're just gonna add this one right here, just an image. And because now it changed, now it's asking us what's the name of the profile, the picture, right? So it can be old picture or whatever. So as you can see here, it was very easy to create a conditional form using Velo. And again, it's super simple. If let's say the onChange handle doesn't work on yours because you need something else, you can also do on click. You can also do on double click, on key press, meaning like if they actually type something. If you just want something to appear just based on mouse movement, then you can use something like this. So it will only show when they move the mouse in. So you can use it for different things. But again, most people looking for a custom form, this is how they can do it. Now let's connect everything, right? For people that already know how to do this step, then thank you for watching. But if you don't know how to connect a form, it's very easy. You're gonna go back here on Content Manager. You're gonna go to Main, and then you're gonna do Add Content Element. And because this is a form, you can just select automatically Form Dataset. Then you're gonna click Settings, and then you're gonna choose the option which is Client's Form, right? That's the name of our collection. And if you remember, we did add 2 options. We added name of picture, and we added, I think that's it. So let's add that field because we just added here, but we didn't add it in our collection. So we're gonna go here on the collections, clients form, and then we're gonna add another field which is text, name of picture, and then save. And we already have description, we also have the image, so we're good. So we have name, last name. We didn't add last name, but we did add phone number, I think. But if you want to add a last name, we can still add that. So let's move this right here. I'm gonna close it just to make sure I do it right. We're gonna add a last name, back to input, and then just select that option. I'm gonna rename this last name right there. And now we have our data set, and now we can connect everything. So the first one is gonna go here, clients. Make sure if you have multiple collections, make sure this one matches with your data set. And then this is gonna be name. This is gonna be last name. phone number, description. So on description is that one, and then this is gonna be image, profile, and then name of the picture or picture's name, and then last one we're gonna connect the button, and the button needs to go to submit, and then you have to add these two options: add success message, show right here, and a failure message. So you just gotta drag this where it's visible, and this is not gonna show on your live version, and usually I like to put it on top because it's hidden. It's only gonna show if you get an error or if the message is successful. So I want it to show on the same spot, but you're also welcome to move it as you wish. So that's all connected. So we can click publish, and we can actually see what the form is gonna look like. So we're gonna go to custom form, and right here we're gonna do test name, test as name. Remember, we're gonna do a form here, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and then a description, and then we're gonna add a picture, and then name of the picture, we're gonna just name it add picture, advertising picture, and then click submit. And if it's giving you an error, it could be for two reasons. So we're gonna go back, we're gonna go to collections, and we're gonna go and find our collection right here. We're gonna click on these three little dots, and then permissions and privacy. So as you can see here, any data that is in that collection or that specific database, anybody can see it if we display it on other pages, right? Who can add content? Only admin. But in this case, because it's a public form, we want to name it anyone. And then who can delete content? We can just leave it as admin. And then who can update? Admin as well. Now, on the old version of Wix, this used to be just anyone to all of them. So just be aware that this is something that could happen. And now we're gonna click save, and then we can click publish, and we're gonna go see the form. One thing I also recommend is to clear your cookies if you still keep getting the same error, because sometimes it's gonna try to pick an old error, or it's just using data that's already saved on the browser. So sometimes that could be a case. Try it on incognito, which is this one right here, private mode. So let's test one more time. Test name, test last name. Gonna do font description, and then the profile, we're just gonna again add whatever picture right here, and then we're just gonna name advertising, and then submit. And now as you can see, you got the success message, and that was the error, is because the permissions on the collection. So when you go here again on your data set, I mean on your collection or database, now the information is right here. So that was a success. Hopefully this helps you again create a custom form. If you still need help or something is not working, feel free to reach out to me. I'll fix it for you. You don't have to worry about it. And it's gonna be something very, very easy that we can help you with. So just send me a comment and I'll help you if you still need help, or if you have more questions. Maybe there's something that you wanna do and I didn't show. Let me know and I'll create a next video for that. Take care.